I shouldn't be doing this. It's more attention. That's what she wants. But I have to rant. She's bugged, but she's gonna watch this on her alt account, so hi. This girl has built an entire platform off of copying other people. Not like taking inspo from someone. No, I mean like actually copying people, and I'm the main target. Yay. Let me show you what I mean. So we've seen butterfly resin tops, but this is a bow butterfly resin top.
I love a good resin top. So when I saw this bow butterfly resin top,
It's a UV reactive dress.
let's style this UV reactive dress.
It has that same pink iridescent look with all these gold accents.
See this opalescent pearly pink bag to go with. The details are
It feels like jelly.
actually like jello.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Hopefully you get the point. It's not like, oh, I saw this one piece, I want to style it too. It's copying over and over again, saying the same words, the mannerisms. It's so creepy. I don't get building an entire platform off of someone else, and there's nothing I can really do. If you have advice, please let me know. I can't think of anything. But Yuyi, please stop.
Signs someone is secretly jealous of you. They copy everything you do because they want everything you have. Nice jacket, weirdo. Thanks. Good morning. What?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You don't know, it's your favorite island girl, Jody from the 876, and today we are diving into a topic that I know that so many of you can relate to. We're talking about copycat friends. Yes guys, me know. We're talking about those friends who seem to copy your style, your vibe, your everything. For example, if today your favorite meal is oxtails and rice and peas, then tomorrow their favorite meal is oxtails and rice and peas. Or if you decided to get a new hobby or interest, then all of a sudden that hobby or interest also becomes theirs. It's crazy. At first, it may seem flattering, but over time you may start to wonder, are they just inspired or are they jealous and trying to compete? It is really a food for thought. This topic was actually inspired by my own personal experiences, as well as this Instagram post that later on solidified that this is something that I need to take on this platform because I am sure many of you can relate. Let's read the post. Okay, real talk ladies, I need your opinion. A friend of mine is upset because I bought the same shoe she did and she thinks I copied her. Is this normal? Would you be upset if a friend got the same pair of shoes as you? Let's think about it and have that discussion. Please remember to like this video, guys. It's an easy and free way to support my channel. Also, subscribe if you are new. To become a part of the Islanders family, drop those palm trees down in the comment section. Have you ever dealt with someone who seems to copy your every move? And if so, how did you handle it? Share your thoughts and experiences down below. Without further ado, let's get into today's video.
A daily reminder that she did not want to be your friend. She wanted to be you.
I'm seeing more and more conversation among women about suspecting that their friends might be copying them. I attribute this to certain TV shows. And I want to bring us back to reality for a second. There are positive and negative forms of imitation. If a person's openly asking you for pointers or something, or directly telling you that they bought an outfit because you bought it, then it's less likely that it's a negative form of imitation. We consciously and subconsciously imitate people as a sign of admiration, as an attempt at connection, and in some cases as an attempt to fit in with the observed norms in an environment. But yes, there are more sinister forms of imitation as well. Trying to steal your partner, mimicking your vocabulary, taking credit for your idea. Perhaps they're envious and they believe that copying you will lead them to achieving the same things that you have. It also points to an underdeveloped sense of self, and on rare occasions, an actual mental health issue. Learn the difference between the two before you run around being unnecessarily paranoid of your friends.
You know those people that just copy everything you do? Well, we stay unbothered. Why? Because no one can do it like you. We all have a unique power that cannot be replicated, so do you and be original always. As the Queen, Kim K, said, they can steal your recipe, but the sauce will never taste the same. You have a special energy, aura, body language, expression. No one can articulate it the way you can, so nothing you do can be replicated. So let them copy, because at the end of the day, you're the original one. You're staying true to your authenticity and your life path. So every time someone copies you, don't be threatened that they'll win, because they won't. As they copy you, they are straying from their unique talents and their true path. So let them waste their time and don't waste your precious energy on letting it bother you.
Let's talk about that one time I seriously thought that a content creator was copying everything I did. Hello, my name is Carlin. Restoring healthy mindsets is my thing. This is stemming from a lot of you tagging me in videos of other people that have very similar content. This was happening to me months ago, and this person was in my circle. When this was happening to me, I realized that TikTok can really play mind games with you and even make you paranoid. But nevertheless, at some point, the similarities between me and this other content creator were too similar to the point where I mentioned my red lipstick. Homegirl literally had to make a video on which red lipstick she uses. To that degree. Mind you, we were both following each other because we knew each other. So it was very apparent whenever we posted content. At some point, I decided to unfollow her because I saw that it was causing me a lot of paranoia and I was getting very frustrated and very upset because honestly, I'm very thorough with my content and I put a lot of time and energy. And it was making me upset that some other content creator would just watch my stuff and literally take my ideas, and off of those ideas, they would blow up. So I decided to unfollow. And now that a lot of months have passed, I now know that it was my ego getting in the way. That yes, even though it can be upsetting, instead of taking it as a negative thing, to take it as a positive thing. I inspired this content creator to be better, to be the best version of herself. And even though it was uncomfortable during that time, I grew so much from that experience. And now that it's not just one content creator, but multiple people taking my ideas and taking credit for it, I don't mind at all. Because like I said before, if that's what it takes for you to receive my message, that's all I really care about. And again, it's nothing new that I'm sharing. I'm not saying that I'm special or that any of my ideas are new. It took a lot of humbleness, but I'm so happy to come out on the other end and make this negative experience into a positive one.
What is the psychology of a copycat woman? She's envious of your success. She actually looks down on you while being envious of your success. She's immature, unprofessional, and has low emotional intelligence. And all of the combination together, we get narcissistic symptoms. I mean, she knows exactly what she's doing, but she doesn't care. These women are really nice, and that is the confusion. You may think that she meant well, but didn't know better when she copied you, but that's not true. When you understand the deep psychology of these types of people, and you also become ruthless about protecting yourself. And of course, your work, your intellectual property, and most importantly, your network. Last week on my YouTube channel, I talked about how I handle that copycat socially elegantly. This week is a follow-up to that video, because I had so many questions from the audience. What actually happened to her? What happened to my network? And what to do when social elegance doesn't seem to work on convincing other people that she's done you wrong. I address all of those concerns on this video. Go to my YouTube to check it out.
And much like that last creator, I too have my own experiences. And at first, honestly, it felt flattering. I'm like,
wow, they really admire me.
But when it goes from inspiration to imitation, that's when it starts to feel super weird. You know, whether it's your style, your interest, or even the way you talk and express yourself, it can make you feel like you're literally losing bits and pieces of your own identity. And honestly, it can get exhausting. It's one thing to share similar tastes and stuff like that, but when someone copies down to the tiniest details, it can feel like competition or jealousy. And the next set of clips you're about to see will emphasize my point. Let's take a look.
Listen, don't ever confuse a girl copying you as inspiration. Copying you is not inspiration. She secretly may be competing with you, or she may want to be you, and there may be some hidden jealousy and envy. So don't just automatically assume like, oh my God, she's so inspired by me. It's no big deal. That's you being naive and overly kind. You need to see things for what they are. It's alarming that this person is copying you. Inspiration is when someone may pick up something that you do and then make it their own. Copying? That's a red flag, sis. That is a red flag.
If you have a friend that copies every single thing you do and it really pisses you off, I want to remind you that firstly, imitation is the biggest form of flattery, and my mom would literally always tell me that. Say you don't like somebody's style, you're not going to copy it. But if you love somebody's style, you're probably going to copy it. I used to get mad when I would catch like my friend copying everything I do, until my mom told me, anyone who copies everything you do is always going to be one step behind because they're waiting for you to make the first move. So the next time somebody copies you, just know you're cool as shit and they love you. They love your personality. They want to be you so bad. And no one can do you better than you can do you.
You're not a bad person for not wanting your friends to copy and do the same things as you. When people are always talking about how copying versus matching, and the girls who are okay with matching are the girls who are most confident, is one thing, because you're doing something together, and matching together when you're with someone is cute and adorable and fun. But someone who just copies you, especially when you're not in the room, because it feels inauthentic, it feels very creepy, it feels very weird. And anyone who would say that imitation is the most sincere form of flattery has never experienced how absolutely infuriating it is to have someone copy and do the same things as you, but also not giving you credit. And if you're one of these people who just copies stuff, like, please go get your own personality.
Get your own personality. Couldn't have said it any better. And at the end of the day, we all want to be around people who are authentic and bring their own vibe. You know, it's cool to be inspired by someone, you know, but there's a big difference between that and the straight up copying. It gets worse, especially if you consider that person a friend. This creator shares her own story time on someone who she considered a friend, and that girl turned out to be downright jealous and just wanted her entire life. Moving into the same apartment, to dating similar looking guys, and wanting to even purchase the same vehicle. Come on, sis. You just had to stop her in her tracks. Let's take a look.
Let me tell you what's crazy. I had a friend just like this. When I say she moved in the same apartments I lived in, she wanted to drive the same car I drove. I had to convince her to get the Acura and not another coupe. She wanted the exact same color. She would wear her hair like mine. She would date guys that look like the guys that I was dating. And when things did not work out for her the way they were working out for me, because she was trying to do what I was doing, she would be so mad at me. She would be so angry, so flustered. This is why I don't like hanging with people who don't have a personality and have low self-esteem. Because when women have low self-esteem, they tend not to know who they are or what they really like or what they really want. And it shows up in every aspect of their life. They, like I said, they won't have a personality, and they just want to be what they see. And they want to be what they see works out for other people. And it just becomes a really big conflict of interest, and then they get mad with you. That same friend, she tried to sue me in a car accident. Like, when I say I can go into a whole story time about this girl, and I let her back in my life 2 times. The 3rd time, I cut that hoe off, and I never let her back in, because when she would get mad at me, she would say stuff to me like, what I really want to say to you, we not going to be friends after I say it. And I'm like, but you're trying to be me, so what is it that you want to say to me that's we not going to be friends? You want my whole life. So I had to, like, check her and put her in her place. And I let her know, I was like, you're jealous. And in her mind, she could not register the fact that she was jealous. It was so odd. Like, it was so odd. So listen, when you come across these people that remind you of people that you've already... I've come across people that I feel like are like her, and I don't with them. I don't bother. I stay away from them. You cannot be friends with people who don't have their own personality. You can't. You cannot be. You can't. You just can't do it.
All right, y'all eggs. So here it go. Story time about that weird friend that went in my life. I'm gonna have to go back so I can go forward. It's gonna be a couple parts. But we're gonna call this friend Tanisha, and I met her back in like 08, 09. This was like before I even had my salon. I was still doing hair in my mom's basement. Let me tell y'all something was crazy. Now that I'm thinking back in hindsight, I noticed that a lot of the friends that I had back then liked me better when I wasn't successful. Once I became successful and I opened that first salon and I started like really being profitable and stuff, people didn't like it. They were close to me. I think that's weird, but they did not like it. But anyway, let's keep going. So she had started being my friend when I was doing hair in the basement. Her ex, who's now her ex-wife, was her girlfriend at the time. She ended up finding me on MySpace. I was really popular on MySpace back then. I'm a popular hairstylist in Baltimore. And she found me to do her hair. I started doing her hair. We got cool. Our birthdays was like 6 days apart. We used to have fun together. And, you know, up until I had got my first salon, you know, things was cool. Like I said, before I got my salon, she was a broke college student. I was a broke hairstylist, you know, and I just ended up being successful before her. And let's just say that didn't always end well. I ended up talking to this guy, and I remember he was going to Zoe Weekend in Miami. Yeah, I'm sure y'all, if you know what it is, you know what it is. If you don't, I can't explain it right now. But he ended up going to Zoe Weekend. But prior to that, he was at work and he was like, Dad, I need to pick this belt up from the Louis store. Could you come get my car and come get the money and go get the belt for me? So I was like, all right, cool, no problem. Now, because at the time I wasn't driving, Tanisha take me to go get it, to get his car, whatever. We ended up, because she was driving, we ended up getting in a car accident, basically. A truck hit the front of the car, knocked the bumper off, the truck flipped because it was going so fast. Long story short, Tanisha ended up leaving her keys in his car. They towed his car. And from then on, mind you, this is somebody I talk to every day, hang out with all the time, all that. After that, I didn't hear from her as much. And, you know, I'm calling her, she not answering. I'm texting her, she giving me one-word responses. And I'm like, you know, what's going on? Like, what's the issue? My mom was like, you think she trying to sue you? Like, she trying to create some distance so she could see you in this car accident. And I'm like, you know, I said, I don't think she would do that. I mean, I hope she wouldn't. My mother always said this one line, keep them bitch in front of you. And I've always kept them bitch in front of me since then. But, you know, I'm like, it's in the car, like, what's your issue? And she was like, you know, my keys are in that car. I need to do this, I need to do that. And I was like, you know, I'll go get your keys. It's not an issue. I was like, you know, I don't understand what you have an attitude with me for. And it was just like she was trying to pick at arguments. So I was just like, look, you don't, when it all boils down to this car accident, it's not on you. Like, it's on me. I have a whole lot more to worry about than you. I can go get your keys. Whatever. I'm telling her I'm going to go get her keys. She's still trying to give me attitude. And I just flipped. Because it was like a day later. I just flipped on it. I was like, check this out. You keep trying to give me attitude. You keep trying to be smart and create distance. Like, keep it 100 with me. Are you trying to sue me in this car accident? Because if you're going to sue me in this car accident, I'm going to let you know right now. Because as a friend, I don't think you should be trying to sue your friend in a car accident. Oh my God, you're crazy. I would never try to sue you in a car accident. I can't believe you just threatened me. Blah, blah, this and the third. And I'm like, yeah, this not sounding right. Get her keys. And when I'm on my way back from getting her keys, she wouldn't even show up to get her keys from me. She sent her father to my salon. My mother said while she was in there, the father was just pacing back and forth, and he was like, oh, this is a nice salon. Like, how long y'all had this? Oh, y'all must be getting a lot of money, and this, that, and the third. And my mom was like, yeah, I think they trying to sue you, and I think her father putting it up to you. Now, putting her up to do it. Let me tell you one thing about my mother. When she say something, she is rarely wrong. She got Jesus on the main line. He be knowing. She be knowing some stuff that he be telling her. She be knowing. So I gave her the keys. I really didn't hear too much from her after that. But her foster mother, because she was a foster child, her foster mother came and got her hair done. And she was just like, you know, I'm not speaking to Tanisha right now. And she said, I wasn't going to say nothing, but I really like you. Like, I consider you one of my daughters. Like, you're a really good friend to her. And she was like, her father was putting her up to sue you in a car accident, which was her biological father. And she was like, I told her, like, that is cruddy. That is not okay to sue your friend. All this over some money. And that's your friend. Like, that's a real friend of you. And you want to sue her. Like, I'm not cool with that shit. And if you do it, you got to get the house and you can't come back around here. So they got into it about it. And I was just like, wow, like, she really was going to try to sue me. So that was the first time, like, we had fell out. Luckily, she didn't sue me, but I think she didn't sue me because I had said what I said to her. Like, look, I feel like you trying to sue me. I'm going to beat your ass, basically. But we'll get into part 2. I didn't speak to her, I'm going to say, for like 4 years. And then we got cool again. And that's when it started getting extra weird. But let me know if y'all want part 2. All right, so part 2 to the weird friend that wanted my life. Now, 4 or 5 years have went by. By now, I have my now female best friend, who her name is Sierra. I can say her real name. Who is my goddaughter's mother. Like, she's an amazing friend. We've never had any fallouts. We never beefed anything. She's really a genuine friend. And I also met that other nurse, Looney Tune girl. We're not gonna say her name. But you know, by now, Tanisha's, we're friends again. She's actually living in Virginia now. She's no longer living in Baltimore. Her and her long-term girlfriend ended up getting married. And, you know, I'm happy for her. I'm like, okay, you know, Tanisha probably grew up. She's changed, whatever. But one thing I forgot to mention to y'all is that also Tanisha is bipolar. Like, real life diagnosis of bipolar. But I don't believe people with mental health issues are still exempt from being good friends. I don't believe it. I think they use that as an excuse to shit. But let's keep going. You know, she was saying she was married. She seemed like she was happy, whatever. You know, we're picking up where we left off. We cool. We talking. Our birthday's about to come up. We talking about, oh, we're going to go to Vegas, you know, everything. Like I said, picked up like nothing ever changed. So we end up going to Vegas. But what Tanisha failed to tell me, and this is another thing I look for in friendships now, I don't deal with people that cheat on their spouses. I don't like it. Especially if you are lesbian, cheating on your spouse with a man. If you're going, be gay, but don't use people. That's how I feel about this. So long story short, she ended up in the long run wanting to leave her, who's now her ex-wife, wanted to leave her for this guy that she had, was like her boyfriend growing up, but also the same guy became her foster brother because his mother was the one that became her foster mother. Anyway, they ended up, you know, still dealing with each other as adults. And she kept saying, you know, she wanted to leave her wife. She wasn't happy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, are you leaving because you want to mess with so-and-so? And she was like, no, I'm really leaving because I'm not happy. You know, I don't want to deal with a girl. I want to be with a man, blah, blah. And I was like, look, are you trying to leave for that guy? Because if you're trying to leave for that guy, that's not a good idea. You trying to leave at 80 for a 20. 20% look good when you ain't getting it. I was being real. Like I said, her ex-wife and me are still cool to this day. I look at her like a sister. Like, I still love her wholeheartedly because she's really a sweet person. She's really a good person. And she just was like, no, that's not why I want to leave. I'm just not happy here. I drove 4 hours to Virginia to pick her up. Now, at the time, her ex-wife did get mad at me because she thought I was, you know, one of the people that wanted them not to be together. And I was like, no. She just told me she wasn't happy. It was affecting her mental health. But all of it was manipulation because she came to Baltimore just to mess with the guy. So I was like, I thought you said you was coming up here because you just wanted to start over, not come up here and mess with him and you know he not going to take you seriously. That was neither here nor there. Let's get into further down the line where she ended up working at this PRP company. She didn't like the lady. I told her, well, if you don't like how the lady runs her company, you're really good at this. You're a social worker. Why don't you start your own? She got mad at me for telling me to start her own. Don't know why. She was sharing a car with her father. At that time, me and her both were living in White Marsh. Her father was living in Cherry Hill. Y'all know that's like two opposite sides of town. That's very far. And I'm just like, bro, why don't you just get your own car? You make the money, like get a car. She got mad at me for saying that. All I really wanted was the best for my friend in every aspect. And every time I would tell her something that was good for her, she would get mad at me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to stop saying stuff. So I'm going to try to wrap all this in together because I don't want to make this super long. But also in this process, I noticed like the guys that I was dealing with, I told y'all the story about Blow. And it was this other guy I was dealing with. We're going to call him E. And E was like a bigger guy. She started getting guys that resembled the guys that I was dating. And I remember I was saying to Sierra, like, am I crazy? Or all these niggas that she bringing around looking like mine? And she was like, yo, I ain't want to say nothing, but I thought the same thing. So I was like, where is she even finding these guys from? Child, she was going on that Plenty of Fish app, finding these random guys that favored guys that I was dealing with. And then when it didn't work out for her, she mad at me. How are you mad at me? They're not the men that I date. I was like, why are you getting these men off of POF? Like, what is that? I didn't even know what it was at that time. Like, I don't do the dating app thing, so I didn't know. And like I said, she was finding these weird guys and they were trying to use her. It was just a mess. It was a complete mess. And she would be mad at me. And I'm like, yo, you need to decide what you want. And then when things didn't work out, she wanted to run back to her ex-wife. And I was like, stop playing with her feelings. I'm a real friend at the end of the day. I'm going to be honest with you. If you're playing with somebody's feelings, I'm going to say to you, and if that person is not doing anything wrong to you, why are you playing with somebody's feelings? That's not okay. If that's not what you want, you said that's not what you want, leave her alone. Like, it's not okay, somebody's feelings. This is why, to this day, I don't deal with people who cheat on their spouses, like male or female. You cannot be my friend cheating on your spouse, especially if you got a good spouse. Now, if they cheat on you, that's a whole nother thing. Do as you will. But I don't agree with doing wrong to bad people. I just don't agree with that. It's totally messed up. So in the process of all this, I'm trying to, like I said, bring it all together. She ended up going to get a car. She was like, I found a gray Honda just like yours. And I was like, don't get it. She told me it was also an Acura there. I was like, get the Acura, which also happened to be gray. And I'm explaining to her, like, we don't need two coupes. Like, you already moved in the same apartment complex as me. If you want to drive the coupe, just come get my car. We can switch, but we don't need two-door cars. We literally live around. I could walk to her apartment building. Like, that's how close she lived to me. And once I noticed that she wanted to do stuff that I was doing, like everything, wearing her hair like mine, dressing, and I stopped telling her certain stuff. Certain stuff I would only tell Sierra. And Sierra had said it to me. Sierra was like, stop telling her who you dating. Stop telling her. She was like, because that girl going to hurt herself trying to do what you do and trying to live how you live. And it just don't work out for her. But we're going to get into part 3 of how we got into it. And she told me what I really want to say to you. We ain't going to be friends after this. So I'll get into part 3.
It's a bummer. Unfortunately, she did not upload part 3, but you get the gist of it. So before we move to the next set of clips, guys, please ensure that you have smashed that thumbs up button. The next creators reiterate what we have already been talking about, but they added that some people who are around you, they don't really like you. They will act like they're cool with you, but deep down, they want to get close because of maybe your aura, maybe your energy, maybe your vibe, and even your network. Let's keep watching.
One of the biggest friendship red flags that you have to keep your eye out for is that friend that always copies you. And just to be clear, this isn't the friend that just like happens to buy the same shirt as you or who you want to match or twin or do any of those things. It's the friend that low-key peeps what you're doing, what you're wearing, what other people are liking from you, and then just stealing it, copying it, making it as their own. And you guys know exactly the kind of girls I'm talking about. The girls who just aren't happy for you to begin with, and then once you have something going on, once you have a cool style, cool hairstyle, cool makeup, something that you say all the time, all of a sudden they'll start copying you and then act like you're the one copying them. Honestly, this happens because the friend that's copying you is just insecure in either who they are, what they say, what they do. They're insecure within themselves, so they have to copy what you're doing in order to feel good enough or like they have something going on. And this may be a controversial opinion, but I honestly think that these girls are your friend and they're around you just to see what you're doing in order to copy you. It's my honest to God opinion, because why else would they be your friend when they low-key don't even like you to begin with? They only like what you can provide them, a sense of style or just your personality. These girls are truly leeches. For whatever reason, if you've ever been in this situation, literally any girl I've ever known to do this to either me or someone else, they will always cut you out of their life when they've gotten enough from you, when they've copied your style, when they've copied how you talk, how you look, how you act. Once they have enough on you, once they've learned you well enough to steal kind of who you are, they just move on to the next person and do the exact same thing to them, and they just keep repeating this and repeating this and repeating this forever because they actually don't know who they are. They're so insecure within themselves that they have to be someone else for their entire life.
Here's how to tell if your friend's in secret competition with you. They'll always try to prove themselves to you. Whenever you look nice, they'll get extremely insecure. These people have such a hard time celebrating your wins. Even if they say they're happy for you, you can always see on their face that they're not really happy. Like once you mention whatever you're proud about, they'll probably never bring it up again. Unless you do, and you probably won't want to. These people are gonna copy your every move, but inspiration is different than imitation, and these people are gonna imitate you. These people are studying you. These are the friends that get mad when you get attention and they don't. These are the people that always try to one-up you. You could tell them that you just started going on daily walks for like 20 minutes. The next week, they'll come back and tell you that they've been going on walks every day, every hour for 30 minutes. And trust, sometimes they be making stuff up, because what do you mean you're going on a walk every hour? For 30 minutes. They're crazy. Your friends shouldn't feel like they're in competition with you. Cut these people out of your life.
TikTok views are so low right now.
TikTok views are insanely low right now.
TikTok views are super low right now.
I have compiled all the expert strategies.
Put together all the strategies.
I went ahead and gathered all the information that I could from all the different experts.
Here are the 6 common things that they all say.
So here are the 6 best strategies.
So I've compiled the top 6 themes, trends, and just tips and tricks.
Here are the 6 most common ones.
No music unless it's a trend.
No music unless it is a trend.
Film on your phone's camera app.
Filming on your camera versus filming on another app.
2 is make sure you are filming on your phone's camera app.
Is the 3x3 hashtag strategy.
Hashtags, there's a 3x3 strategy.
3 is a 3x3 method.
Always think of TikTok SEO.
3 is going to be TikTok SEO.
The 2x1 rule
is going to be the 2-to-1 rule.
So number 5 is the 2x1 rule.
6 is negative hooks.
Negativity sells, especially in the form of a hook.
You want to use negative hooks.
1 is use negative hooks.
That final video was a perfect example of what other creators may face. Other creators may use their exact scripts, word for word, bar for bar, and might I add, no credit. We all have a platform and we're full of talent, so why not put your own spin to it instead of just repeating that something that somebody has already done. You get me? And honestly, I know that confrontation is tough, but sometimes it is necessary. And if someone is making you uncomfortable by copying you or turning every move that you make into a competition, then it's a conversation worth having. What would you do? Would you confront them or would you let it slide? Let me know down in the comment section. Dealing with copycat friends is no joke. It's hard to tell if someone is just admiring you or if it is something deeper like jealousy or competition. Either way, you deserve to have friends that support you and appreciate you for who you are, not just mimic your every move. If you have enjoyed this video, guys, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so for more juicy compilations and relatable storytime content. And don't forget, I love reading your comments down below. So please share your own copycat friend stories down below. Have you ever dealt with this and how did you handle it? So this is where we will wrap up today's video, guys. As usual, don't forget to like the video and hit that notification bell so you never miss when I upload another crazy storytime or relatable reaction video. And if you want to see more videos like these, please feel free to go ahead and click that up next video on your screen. And as always, thank you so much for watching. My name is Jody and I aspire to inspire. Until next time, guys, walk good.